Okay, back to this Fiat Punto. We did a head gasket test on it, which proved conclusive that it was a head gasket problem. Don't know how much of a head gasket problem it is, but it's enough to put combustion gases into the coolant, so there's a start for 10. This is a Fiat Punto 1.2 Active Sport, so what I'm going to do, I don't know if I'm going to fix it, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to tear it down and see what the actual problem is, purely for my own interest and perhaps your interest as well. But I mean, as head gaskets go, it looks fairly simple. I've done coarser head gasket before, and it's not that much different, but it's an 8 valve, so obviously you haven't got 2 cams to play with, and you've got the 1 cam. It comes with stretch belts, so the bolts wouldn't need replacing as much as other stuff. So I'm just going to show you around before I actually start. Penetrating fluid is going to be your friend, obviously, but you've got to disconnect the battery, take this air intake off. I'll just sort of move you around and show you what I'm playing with. Obviously, we've got on the catalytic converter, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts which are rusted up. Got to get the shield off as well, which is pretty rusted up. Around the back, got the air, got the intake, which has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts, plus other stuff as well to take off. That should just slide back, that should just slide forward. Obviously disconnect the battery, got to set the timing to top dead centre, remove some of the sensors. I think the alternator would be okay staying as it is, or I can just move it out of the way, but we'll have a look. Obviously got to prop up the engine, take off the engine mounts, disconnect some pipes, but a lot of this is pretty rusty really, so I'm going to take the head off, and then we'll have a look at it and see what it's like, and then we'll make a decision when the head's off whether we're going to rebuild it and repair it. Along the way there's going to be some stuff I can show you as well, like down below is the coolant sensor, there's the coils taken off, various other things as well that I think would be quite interesting to have a look at. But as a start for 10, we're going to disconnect the battery and set the timing. So that's what we're going to do next. So up to now, what I've done, I've disconnected the coil, took the coil off, 10mm bolts on that, disconnected the wiring loom here, which is giving me more room, disconnected cam sensor, I've took off the intake. What else have I done? All the injectors and everything has been took off. So what I'm going to do now, because before I go on to the next step of setting the timing, I'm going to just soak all these bolts with penetrating fluid. Trusty good old WD-40. Just going to wax them on. Just going to let them soak overnight, because that's the anything that's got rust on it is going to be a bugger to get off, because obviously anything that breaks makes me less likely to want to repair it. So hopefully these will come out. I mean, they normally do. Usually one will probably fail, but I'm going to let them soak overnight, do the job. Got to get the shield off as well, so I'm going to soak them down the bottom. Let them do it. So the next job is setting the timing.
Right, these are the plugs that I've took out. These are all in order, so got cylinder 1, cylinder 2, cylinder 3 and cylinder 4. And as you can see, cylinder 3 is very different than the other ones, which I presume either it wasn't, well, it looks like it's been washed. which leads me to believe that's where the gasket problem may be. So looking forward to taking that off and seeing if it actually has broken the gasket around that area. But it does look very different than the other ones, so it looks very clean. Looks like it's been bathed in water, but we'll see.
So now what I've done up to now is took the spark plugs out, because obviously it's going to make turning the engine to time to top dead centre a lot simple, which are right down there. Obviously when you take plugs out, make sure there's no crap or anything. These Puntos are really bad for that, having these areas where it's just full of crap. Gets down there, which doesn't help. Took the timing cover off, top half, but what I'm taking it apart, what I'm noticing now, I don't know if you can see that down there, we've got a lot of wet oil down there now, which I believe I've got the crank sensor down there, and I've got, you can see down here, and I presume that is the oil pressure sensor down there as well, which, well, something's leaked. I mean, there's a load of wet oil down there. So it's obviously a lot of problems with this car, which may have caused the head gasket to leak, overheating problems and stuff. But there's the top, so if you can see the timing mark there, which is, you can just see it there. So I'm going to try and get this to top dead centre. So I'm going to try and find the mark to line it up with. See if I can find that. But obviously I've got to take the bottom off as well, the bottom cover. I'm going to take this heat shield off as well next. And then it ain't a difficult job really when you see, I mean, it goes down to that point. So take the pipe off, see the green engine coolant sensor as well. So yeah, so next I'll take the timing cover off next, just have a look in there and see what's going on, just for the hell of it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think there's one down there, 5, probably about 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6 10mm bolts to take off. So I'll do that next. Right, so the next step is to set the engine to top dead centre, which I've done. The crank goes clockwise, so I'm not sure if it makes any difference to go anti-clockwise, but I've done it clockwise, and it moved freely. Take all the spark plugs out as well, so it runs freely. I've used a screwdriver as well, and then there's a mark. And you can see that I've Tipexed. That needs to be in line. You'll see it underneath. I don't know if you can see it from here. Use a screwdriver just under there. There's a divot there, and that is where you need to line it up. So not sure about locking it, but it's pretty easy to line up. And then obviously once I take the bottom, I mean, it's a bit dark here because I'm working outside in the dark. Once you do that, then take off the bottom crankshaft pulley and the cover. And then one of the things I haven't done yet is going to drain the coolant, so I'm going to do that next. Basically, see the screwdriver down here. I'm going to take this clamp off here and just drain all the coolant out. And then the next step will be taking off the cam cover. Right, just going to drain the coolant. Got my trusty pliers, so just go down there, put them on there. Just move the clip over. That should be enough, and then just pull it out. There you go, there it comes. There's coolant draining. Basically it's simple as that, the whole lot. Gravity will force all that out. Right, I'm going to undo these bolts on the heat shield on here. Really rusty. Loads of penetrating fluid. I sprayed them before, so now they should be alright. 10mm bolt. Socket. So they're coming undone, not shredding or anything. Penetrating fluid really is your friend on this sort of stuff. So, they're coming off really well. Really surprised actually. I thought I'd bloody round them off, but they're coming off really good bolts actually. Look at them, come straight out. And that's pretty rotten actually. So I guess it's probably been off before recently. There you go. Right then, I'm about to wrap this up, but I just thought I'd show you where I'm up to. I'm going to do this video probably in 2 or 3 parts because there's a lot to it, and I just haven't got the video time to show you everything. But I've taken the cat off. Came off really easy, really surprised. The bolts, these are the bolts, came off. They came off as a stud rather than a bolt, which is good, that's fine because I can probably still use them again. Nothing rounded off, everything came out really well. The gaskets are in pretty not bad condition either, they're not broken or anything like that, so this is quite a budget job, so I'll probably use as much again as I possibly can. So we've got the engine timed up, top dead centre, we've got the cat off, got the shield off as well, boots came off okay. In the next video what I'm going to be doing is taking the intake off. That should come off fairly easy. Push that back, take off the thermostat, obviously do the timing belt down here, take all that off as well, and then obviously the cover, still haven't taken that off yet, but that's pretty much it. I'm so glad that the cat came off really well. That was one of the worries the last job I did of like this. I was forever had to try so many different techniques to try and get these studs out. Ended up sending it away. It cost me a fortune to get the head revamped. But yeah, this is pretty much up to where I am now. Hopefully the next part you'll see more of the inside the engine, and we'll really start to see what actually caused the failure of the head gasket. So hopefully you find this interesting. Thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and you'll see the next part. Thanks a lot.